Little Black Sambo is a ComiColor cartoon from 1935. It's directed by Iwerks, Shamus Culhane, and Eugster, and written by Helen Bannerman. And I don't even know if I can say that word on YouTube. The Sambo. I'd never heard of it before, and I googled it because I figured it must mean something. And according to Wikipedia, it's a derogatory term for a person of African descent in the Spanish language. So I'm not going to say it again, just in case it is exceptionally offensive. As I said, I hadn't heard the term before. And also, I don't want YouTube to demonetize this. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm just not going to say the title of this cartoon again. But certainly, that should be an indication of the kind of cartoon we're going to be watching. Now, it's not the worst or the most racist cartoon I've ever seen, but there are certainly things in this that are not great. The concept is not too bad. It's about a little boy who goes out to play after his mother has given him a bath, a very strange approach to giving him a bath. She's washing him as if she's washing laundry, but she gives the child a bath, the child goes out to play, she warns him to look out for the tigers, and the dog has some fun and pretends to be a tiger, and I won't say exactly how he does that, but it's pretty cute, and then there is a real tiger. And I won't say any more about what happens, but it's an interesting concept. It works well enough. The tiger is a fun character. The dog pretending to be a tiger was really good fun, and the little boy seems like quite a likable character, and there are no problems with that at all. But we definitely have an animation design that's bordering on caricature, which is never great. And there are just little things here and there that are uncomfortable. For example, when she's the mother, when she's bathed her son and she's drying him off, she puts powder on him, as one would a small child, and the powder is black. And it focuses on this for a good second or two. So it's something they're saying, look how funny this is. We've made the powder black because the character's black. Isn't that funny? Well, no, actually it isn't. But there are other just little things here and there that didn't need to be there, that make it a little bit uncomfortable and kind of awkward. As I said, it's not the worst I've ever seen. There are certainly more cartoons that are racist. You get kind of two kinds of cartoons from this era that are arguably racist. There are those like this, where they don't seem like they're trying to make fun of certain characters, of black characters, or any other race that they're depicting, but they're not very sensitive about it. Whereas there are the cartoons where they have clearly gone out of their way to make fun of those kinds of, cultures or anything. I'm thinking cannibal cartoons are generally the ones where they will depict certain tribes and cultures in ways that are clearly meant to be making fun of them. Whereas with cartoons like this one, I don't feel like there was any ill intent. That doesn't make the depiction right, of course, but I don't think there was ill intent. I just don't think they were very mindful with what they were doing. Again, it's a product of its time, so it's not necessarily something we can get too annoyed about today, but certainly we can learn from it. If they'd maybe scaled it back a little bit, and the animation wasn't quite as caricature as it feels like sometimes, it might not have been too bad, because the narrative itself is absolutely fine. I have no problems with the actual concept of this tiger. It's very cute. The boy, as our protagonist, seems quite likable, and I feel like he's got a very fun-loving, cheeky personality. Mostly I'm picking that up because of the way he moves. He moves quite freely, he skips around, he's got a big smile. He seems like a really nice, happy character. And obviously the caricaturing of his facial expressions and things are maybe a little bit too far in the wrong side. But if they'd scaled it back a little bit and maybe didn't focus on things like black baby powder, because that didn't need to be the case, then actually it wouldn't have been too bad. So it's not the worst. The narrative is an interesting enough concept. The rest of the animation is really good. The backdrops, the tiger, the dog, no problems there at all. So it is problematic in some ways. It's not horrendous, but it's also not perfect, to say the very, very least. Do I recommend it? If it sounds like something you'd be interested in, then yes, I think from a historical perspective, it's always interesting to see not just how certain cultures or people were depicted, but also what they got away with. It's interesting to see the threshold and obviously, as I said, there are certain ones, mostly cannibal based cartoons, where they depict certain cultures just horrendously, and I watch it and think, how did you get away with this? Whereas this one, for the 40s, I can understand why they'd get away with it. It's not great, but it has some good moments, nice protagonist, nice backdrops, like the tiger. It's worth watching for the right reasons, but it's certainly very far from perfect.